things we didn't get to in hashtag form with Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
The Green Bay Packers, they collapsed. That was a terrible way to open the season last Sunday against the New Orleans Saints.
How bad do you
38-3.
How bad do you feel for the Detroit Lions on Monday night? They have to go to Lambeau and follow up that performance, which is going to be, I'm sure they're getting their asses chewed at practice every day this week. And something's probably going to change because you picked them to win Super Bowl. Now, if it doesn't...
You mean the Packers, not Detroit.
The Packers, yeah.
Yeah.
Something's got to change. Don't you feel bad for the Detroit Lions?
Yeah, they're going to get destroyed. They're going to get destroyed.
I saw the line earlier. I was preparing the lines for tomorrow's discussion with Fred and Angel for the Red Zone Challenge. Fred from Fred Breuer Realty and Angel from California RV Outlets. They picked the games with us, and Angel is off to a hot start. He's 3-0 in the closest games of the week already. But I saw that the spread was 10.5, and I'm like, wait, one team lost by 28. The other team actually came back and made a game of it against a pretty good defense.
Yeah, against San Francisco. Yeah, no
Why
kidding.
is that team?
And the Packers are favored by 10?
10.5.
Wow. Well, here's one of the excuses Rodgers had about why he threw one of his 3 interceptions.
I don't like to make a lot of excuses for interceptions. That one was entirely due to the double nut shot I took. I still go back and watch it. I stepped up in the pocket. I was going to throw it across my body to Devontae. And right before I'm throwing it, somebody on the right, with a right kind of cross, double nut shot. That was a painful one. I do. They got their money's worth on that one.
Hashtag bad move. If I'm on the defense, I'm going for him every time now.
Hashtag wear a cup.
I never did in high school.
I didn't either.
Baseball, I did.
I tried it
You
once.
had to because you would lose. You could literally destroy your body if you took a baseball there. But a football or a smack.
I tried to once.
Very hard.
Yeah, it was rubs up against the thighs and all that stuff.
It's hard to move,
and I was
right?
like, I'll take my chances.
Which is funny because you protect everything else that is much less sensitive with all these pads and helmets and things. But it's just uncomfortable. I guarantee you there's a guy that said it was uncomfortable until he got hit there, and then he decided, yep, I'm going to wear a cup.
Hashtag while we're on football, and I mentioned it earlier, I feel like it needs to be followed up. Urban Meyer is going to be watched closely this season. Jason LaCanfora of CBS Sports reported on Sunday that that there's pessimism around the NFL about his ability to adjust to coaching at the professional level. He is said to have repeated issues already with members of his coaching staff and the Jaguars players this summer. One of the problems has been the disconnect that his staff has with the fact that they're not very experienced in the NFL. And in the NFL, it's not like, you're Ohio State and you're going to, go out and trounce Minnesota and not even think about it. In the NFL, the games are going to be close each week unless they're not close in a game that you were supposed to win and you lost, 34-17 to the Houston Texans. There might be this feeling, according to LaCanfora, that the players aren't playing for him. Like they want him. They're already sabotaging him after one game. LaCanfora said
he doesn't look like a pleasant person to be around.
He's looking over everybody's shoulders. He's being a micromanager. He becomes unhinged way too easily. In fact, he even started berating his staff when they and players when they were losing preseason football games, meaningless games. And these guys are all like, we've been in the NFL longer than you have, dude. These games mean nothing.
Yeah.
It's for you to trim down the roster. So,
there's a learning curve. You would think Urban Meyer, though.
He's only lost 32 games as a head coach in 17 seasons of college football.
Yeah, it's going to be different now, especially when you take a job there. It's going to be a little bit different. Hashtag you won't do it. You a fan of Jim Breuer?
I think he's kind of funny. Yeah, I think he cracks me up when he is the perpetual he just his look. He looks like he's always stoned, and stoned out of his mind.
Right.
So I think he's funny, yeah, and he does a great. Remember John Rocker, the racist pitcher for the Atlanta Braves?
Yeah,
he does a great John Rocker. Even though that joke is, the ship has sailed on that one. It's still pretty good.
He apparently has decided that he is no longer or will not do venues that require COVID vaccines to get in.
I'm telling you, the Wellmont Theater, I'm not doing it. And I'm not apologizing. I will not do a show where they force you to come out and laugh, and the only way you can do that is that you need to get a shot? No. Or you got to go no. So unfortunately, the Wellmont Theater, not doing it, and the Royal Oak Theater, not doing it.
So I guess there must be some venues out there that won't even accept negative tests. They just, you have to have a vaccine and a negative test. I heard that's the new thing. Did we talk about that? Carnival Cruise Line this week announced that it doesn't matter if you're fully vaccinated, you got your vaccination card, you will still have to test negative before getting on that boat. Which I think is still smart, because obviously, if you have the full vaccine, you can still get it and you can pass it. So instead of getting a bunch of people sick and spreading it, make sure everybody has a negative test before you get on the boat. Within, 72 hours.
Yeah, I mean, given the problems that the cruise ships had when the coronavirus came on, I can see how they would err on the side of caution on this one and just make sure that, everybody is getting on. But, I mean, how does that work with, you buy these packages in advance and they're not cheap for a cruise ship. They seem like they're cheap, and then when, all these fees come into play, you're like, next thing you know, you're spending like $8,000 for a cruise.
If you bought it, then you got to be vaccinated and you got to have a negative test. I mean, it can be done.
But do they refund you if you get there? Like, say you get there and you're like, okay, I'm feeling fine. I'm asymptomatic. I take a test. They check the test. They're like, sorry, your test came back negative. I'm sure they're refunding you.
Positive?
I'm positive, yeah. They're refunding you the money. Apparently, to quote Michael Scott, apparently negative is seen as positive in the medical world.